на чашу и кубок. Традиция, которая идет с тех самых пор, когда появилась игра регби-7. Эта традиция дает возможность командам, не преуспевшим на групповом этапе, побороться за другие призы.
So Russia up next against Japan, and a real opportunity here for Russia to really make an impact in their own tournament. Alexander Inyushkin, well, he'll captain the team. And Japan with Lotte Takiri was quite outstanding in the semi-final.
Следующий мужской финал за чашу.
So out to the final they go. And the conditions, obviously, Ben Collins, are going to have a massive impact on this final.
We've seen earlier in these games, especially just now in the women's bowl final, the conditions are tough. It's keeping the game tight. Both teams here need to look to try and take the conditions out of their head and still play the same style of rugby they were playing earlier. Move the ball, trust your hands, try and stretch defences.
So James McPhail, my apologies, is in the middle. And Japanese crowds still in the stadium here, the Luzhniki Stadium.
Are you ready?
So the kickoff here is long and good. Katazuki Saki, who's been instrumental in Japan's progress in this tournament. Well, you can hear the atmosphere already just building around this Luzhniki Stadium. Over 89,000 seats, not quite that full at the moment, as we've mentioned. I think the weather's perhaps put some supporters off. Great kick ahead though. Picked up there by Igor Galinovsky. And Galinovsky, well, he scored a couple of tries in the previous tie.
They're unfortunate there, Scott. They just couldn't quite get away. Good, like the change-up of the kick. Rather than kicking long, he's kicked high, enabled his teammate to try and have a go at it, attack the ball and retain it.
All scrappy, it's all about the skills. Lotte Takiri, interesting enough, we mentioned in their previous match that Takiri normally plays up front, and what they've done on this occasion, Japan once again have selected Takiri to play in the centre.
Well, looking at the Russians, they know the way they play. They're powerful, they're big, they're strong boys, they can run fast. Put Takiri in the back line to compete with that.
Inyushkin then goes on the wraparound. Strong is Galinovsky up to the 10-yard. He posts the ball, the squeeze ball through between the legs. And you can just see in the background there the rain still teeming down here.
They've got to make sure they hold on to their balls. These conditions really highlight your skills, and you've got to be on top of your game here.
Ball in the back then, recycled and go the forwards, but it popped out to be a snaffled ball there. And this is the long striding Viktor Gresev. Gresev gets the support. Well, he was going to pass to Vasily Artemiev. This is Artemiev, the Northampton Saints winger. He went to university in Dublin. Good continuity here for Russia. And strong from Viktor Gresev once again. But hands on the deck, penalised by referee James McPhail.
And lucky there, just almost getting through the tackle, but not quite. And then hands in from the Japanese, managed to get the ball and get the steal. Stop the momentum of the Russians.
Well, normally you would tap and go from that situation there, wouldn't you? But the conditions dictate that Katazuki Sakai will kick for touch.
It's an interesting tactic because, yes, you get the distance, but is ball in hand easier off a tap and go in these conditions? Line outs, it's a tough skill to perform. You've got to be spot on here.
Well, look at those conditions. Have you ever seen them? Look at this. Players slipping, sliding. It's like a scene out of Kung Fu Panda 2. Excellent strength and great handling there from Nikola Groshilov. One-handed pass out the tackle. Lofty Takiri went in with the tackle there, but advantage being played now. Oh, the little kick that came in there from Viktor Gressov. He's been put on pick up, and the opening try for the smallest player on the pitch. Alexander Anyushkin, first try for Russia, and sheer delight erupts around the stadium.
Well, it was an interesting kick. You're gonna have to give it some in these conditions with the wet floor, but unfortunately for the Japanese cover, he's kicked more water than ball, and it's landed straight in Yanushkin's hands, and he finishes the try. Here we go, we watch it, he tries to get rid of it, but actually just puts a neat pass into Yanushkin.
And fantastic hands from Yanushkin. I'm glad he hit the carpet there, because otherwise he's going to be sliding out the stadium. Well, difficult conditions to convert, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's right there, we already mentioned, that's probably one of the worst affected areas of the field. Not getting any bounce on that ball.
So Yanushkin will have another opportunity to restart. Let's see if he gets any height in this. Yes, he does, and kicks into that slippy corner. That was excellent play there by the scrum half.
Yeah, that's quality, that's good thinking. Pins Japan right back on their try line. Takes away the mess that could happen if you're trying to compete for the ball in the air.
And Ben, this guy's been such a servant to Russian rugby, and watching him out in the Rugby World Cup and against Australia and Italy and Nelson, he was a real crowd favourite over there, and indeed inspirational figure in many respects. And look at him, he's not going to shirt the contact situation either. This is him again, Yanushkin with the pass, second try in for Russia. Vasily Artemiev, the English-speaking Russian who plays on the wing for the Northampton Saints. But it all came from Artemiev latching on to that Japan mistake.
That's a good hit here from Japan. Yanushkin getting a hit in, and then just being able to get the ball. It's an easy run over for Artemiev. It's clever play at the moment from Russia. Put the pressure on the opposition, let them make the mistakes and then pounce on them. So often tries are scored from turnovers in this game.
So the conversion to come, and naturally missed. Well, there's not really much TV exposure to the game here at all in Russia, where soccer and ice hockey dominate the airwaves, but this weekend the local sports channel is covering this Rugby World Cup, and well, I don't know if they'll understand my Scottish accent, but I'm sure they'll enjoy the action. Oh, this is a great run down the far side by Lutuali. Latula gets in for the try, and Japan have nailed one back for their country.
This was just sheer strength and determination here from Latulu. He manages to shrug the tackles off, and with Yanushkin making a last-ditch effort, he gets over the try line.
The 28-year-old, well, he's 107 kilograms, 6'2", and 16 stone 12. And he really shifted down that side, didn't he? Big kick coming up here for Japan. As the whistles echo around the stadium. Sakai with that A reasonable effort at half-time, though.
It's interesting because he was spot on with his kicks in the semi-final to put him through to the final. And it could come down to kicks in this final here.
Half-time then, Russia 10, Japan 5.
Смотрите, получится. Не идет, не подкидывает, не идет, не подкидывает. Ну красно, наши, пацаны. Мы сейчас его выиграем. Выиграем. Давай, давай,
Alexander Alexenko gives the words of inspiration to his team. Meanwhile, across in the Japanese camp, Tomohiro Segawa, less than 10 months as coach, and in Tokyo this year beat Canada in the opening game by 14 points to 10 when they hosted their own tournament as part of the IRB Sevens World Series circuit.
The Japanese team also, they get the chance to play on the Asia Series as well, to be able to apply their trade, and they're topping that the last few years. Hong Kong took over them just this year, but they're a strong force in Asia.
Well, the boots in these conditions don't seem to get muddy, Ben. The luminous green of Vladislav on Yanyushkin with a kick-off, sorry. And Yanyushkin, Alexander Yanyushkin, as we've mentioned already, such a great little playmaker within this team, as so many of the scrum halves are. And alongside me, the voice of Ben Gullins, the IRB points record holder. And Ben, in these conditions, what was it like just to play the pivotal role, the link between the forwards and the backs?
Position of keeping a level head. Oh, here he goes again, Yanyushkin.
Well, did he get the touchdown? No, says referee James McPhail. A big kick downfield. This will be fielded then from Russia. They switch the ball once again. Dynamic running, trenching running. Ostrushko fights to stay in field.
He's done very well there, Yanyushkin, to stay off the touchline. They've got numbers out here to the right now if Russia can get the ball.
Ostrushko just taps and goes. They've got men over here. Yanyushkin, well, he's been the star, he's on the outside. Will he go himself? Will he duck under the tackle of Takiri? Will he steps inside the tackle of Takiri? Well, if there's a man in the match award in a sevens tie, you'd already hand over the award to him. Outstanding play by the scrum half.
He's at the moment, he's just making all the right decisions. He's a key pivotal role, as you've said, Scott, in this team. And here, he's on the end of it. Good decision. He could have probably used his man for an easier try, but it's getting it closer to the post. But he's been in every play a key role.
And sometimes when you're in the balance of that ball, kissing and waving too, there's hordes of supporters out there. This is great stuff, isn't it? This is what this Rugby World Cup here in Moscow needed. It needed a home final. It needed a Russian team in a home final, and we've got it, and we've got a cracker. The bowl final then rests at the moment in the hands of this man here, Alexander Yanyushkin.
What he's been good at doing at the moment in this final is he's just kept applying the pressure on the Japanese side. That's through the ball in hand and then with the ball in the boot, especially off these kickoffs.
Well, I mentioned that he'd also played in the Rugby World Cup 2011. He's got 55 international caps, so huge amount of experience. And well, the sport of rugby union at 7s and 15s has taken him all over the world. Well, one more try. You wouldn't bet against it, would you, just to top that table?
Not with the way he's playing at the moment in this final.
Sevens, though, has an uncanny habit of turning in the tide, and on this watery pitch, will the tide turn in the Japanese favour?
It's just not quite going their way at the moment. They had the turnover. He's got caught in the contact and it's turned ball back over to Russia. Still with over 3.5 minutes to play in this game. That's plenty of time for Japan to conjure up an attack, put themselves right back in this game.
Well, a little bit of claret will have to be applied to that, and potentially a few staples as well. Just, I think there's a clash of heads that comes in here now. Down go the players. Yeah, running repairs there for that laceration on the top of the skull. I mean, Dmitry Perov is in at scrum half. Perov in at scrum half. And Perov kicks long downfield.
Straight out, unfortunately, though, so no ground gained with that. And this is the vital bit of ball that Japan have been waiting for.
Well, it was interesting because Igor Kalushnikov, who came on to the field, has come straight off to get stitches. So Japan perhaps have got an opportunity to get back into this tie. Kazushi Hano, well tackled there. And Russia, the beneficiary of going down on the ball. Well, look at the mud on the face of Kazushi Hano. Hano well tackled by Igor Galinovsky. And almost a penalty there for handling on the ground.
Asuki Hoshino hit that ruck as well, like an exocet. Lucky not to have caused himself some damage.
Here's the try scorer from the first half. Uchila. Japan through to Kiri. Now they've got a 3-on-2 here. That's rather spoiled. The kick comes through now. How good is the footwork? Superb covering. Vasily Artemyev. Well, he'd be good in the swimming pool, wouldn't he? And Japan quite entitled to take the quick one now. Russia were a little bit naughty there.
Yeah, well, the line-out wasn't set, so he's well within his rights to take that quickly, and good decision. They had numbers on the outside.
Another excellent tackle comes in there from Vladimir Ostrushko. Now straight running from the try scorer. Spilt ball though by Sakai. An advantage being played. Well, the break here from Galinovsky. You can hear the crowd once the Russians get hold of this ball, and this is one of the hardest runners. Ostrushko gets the offload, and the support from Lazarenko in under the post, over the dead ball line. Happy times for Russian rugby.
Well, it's great to see them pouncing on the ball, not utilising their advantage, making a big break, and the key again was the support play of the Russians. There were 2 Russians here, and I think if he'd have died from the 22, he probably could have scored that one.
And it was Goroshilov with the strong running onto Ostrushko, and then the support that came in from Vladislav Lazarenko that made all the difference for that try. Now watch this for a scene of ecstasy. Do we like it? Do we like it? Yes, we do. That's what it feels like to win in front of your own crowd.
Well, that was a cracking try for Russia.
22 points to 5. Japan well in command, and quite frankly, they've played the conditions far more strongly.
They have. They've kept ball in hand, they've offloaded, and they've took every opportunity they've had.
Last throw of the dice, that's the final hooter. Matula strong again, bundled into touch. This is Russians' title here, but they're desperate to score another try. Look how they kept that ball in play. Is there one last bit of excitement for this home crowd? Dmitry Perov out there to Simplivovic. Oh, he's gone right the way round, and he'll enjoy this moment. Takimi decides to go for a dive as well.
he was just cutting him off, trying to stop him getting closer to the post. But Russia, Hooter's gone, all they'd do is kick it out, but no, confident, they want to finish with a bang and get the ball out wide to Simplificevic. Hands off the Japanese defence to score the try.
Well, Perov offloaded on the wide outside. Gets run and watch, there's almost a shark attack here. In he comes, and I think there was just a bit of playful fun, wasn't there?
I think he just wanted to test how good he could dive in this wet conditions.
Well, delight then for this Russian team. They missed out on qualification at Twickenham to become a core team back in May, but this will make up, in some respects, Russia 29 points to 5 ahead and winning this battle in the teeming rain